Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here for Music-a-thon Day 2, and for today's video I figured I would do my CD collection. I've shown you glimpses of it in the past, but I've never shown my entire CD collection in its entirety. And you guys will definitely see that my music taste has definitely changed over the years. I started off liking more mainstream and pop music, and I've definitely transitioned into liking more alternative and punk rock. But without further ado, this is going to be kind of a long video, so let's jump right in and get started. So the first pile of CDs that I'm going to talk about today are my miscellaneous pile, and these are albums that I only own one album by this band or artist, or they only have one album out. So the first one of those is actually going to be the first album I ever got, and that is It's Only Time by Drake Bell. I was obsessed with Drake and Josh growing up, which Drake Bell was one of the stars of that TV show. And I begged my parents for months to buy me this because I had a huge crush on Drake Bell growing up. He was my very first celebrity crush. And I got this for Christmas in 2006. And it's surprisingly, I really like this album to this very day. It's been over 10 years since I got into or received this album. And surprisingly, I still really enjoy it. So, yeah, that's my very first album that I ever got. So the next one I have to talk about is very different than anything else you guys are going to see in today's video, and that's because I really don't listen to classic rock, but I have this album because it was sent to me by one of my good friends, Cynthia, and if she's watching this video, hi Cynthia, and thank you again so much to send me 2 or 3 of these albums actually. And this album that I'm going to talk about right now is Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. Again, I'm not the biggest classic rock fan, but I really do love Guns N' Roses. I kind of grew up listening to their music, so I have this one. It has all my favorite songs by them on it, which are Welcome to the Jungle and Paradise City, Sweet Child Mine, just to name a few, so that's that one. The next album is one that I have a history with this particular band, and that album is Up All Night by One Direction. I have had a very love-hate relationship with One Direction over these past... how long have they been around? 7 years, I would say. 6 or 7 years. I saw them in concert in 2012. They were actually the opening act for my favorite band of all time. This is before they got really big. And I ended up getting this album for Christmas that year. And over the years, I just kind of started to like them less and less. I still think this is a great first album. It's just, I don't think they're for me anymore. I kind of think they're overrated, to be honest. But again, we're not going to go into too much detail in this particular video. I'll probably do an entire separate video on my personal channel sometime in the near future. But I do own this first album. I still think it's a good first album. Nothing against it. It's just not for me anymore. And the last album that is in my miscellaneous pile is actually a album by a band that has a tie with my favorite band of all time, and that is Happy Mistakes by Heffron Drive. I would recommend this album to everybody if I could. I love Heffron Drive. They are a alternative pop band with an electronic aspect to them, and I actually met both of the members of this band. And to make it quite brief, Kendall is one of the members of my favorite band of all time, and then Dustin is the guitarist for that band. So I met them when I was meeting that band, which I'll get into in a second, but I love this album. This is their only album out right now, but I believe their second album is in the works, so I would highly recommend you guys go check them out if you have not already. And now we're going to get into the beginning of my boy band phase. So I'm kind of still in the boy band phase, but that's just because my favorite band of all time is a boy band. So starting off with probably the most famous boy band of all time, and that is the Jonas Brothers. I own 2 of their albums. I own A Little Bit Longer, In Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. I was mostly a fan before they went on hiatus, and then they came back, and their music wasn't as good, to be honest, but I still listen to these albums to this very day. I still love them as much as I did when they first came out. So yeah, Jonas Brothers, still a great band. Wish they hadn't broken up. The next band that is kind of in my boy band phase, but that's because they're not really a boy band, but I was into them at the time. I was really into Jonas Brothers, so that band is the Naked Brothers Band. So I own both of their albums. They only have 2 out. They broke up after, I wouldn't say too long after their second album came out. Their first one is their self-titled album, and their second was I Don't Want to Go to School. I was really into the Nickelodeon TV show, and I bought both of their albums for that reason. And I will be honest, I still listen to some of these songs because I have a good majority of them on my phone, so I still love these albums. Now we're going to get into my soundtracks. Now, I own quite a few soundtracks. A good majority of them are movie soundtracks. So I'm going to start off with the Star Wars ones. So in no particular with the Star Wars ones, I have Revenge of the Sith, which is my favorite movie of all time. And then the Clone Wars, which was the animated movie. Attack of the Clones, Episode 2. And finally, with the Star Wars one, is The Phantom Menace. And then we're going to get into the remaining 3 that are not Star Wars. The first one of those is Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Squeakquel, because I was obsessed with this movie. Then I have Camp Rock, because again, I was really into the Jonas Brothers. They starred in this movie, so yep. And finally, it's actually a TV show, but it has a movie adaptation as well, and that is Kim Possible. This is one of my favorite TV shows, if not my favorite TV show of all time. It's definitely up there in my favorites. If you guys have seen my reading vlogs in the past, you might know, I might have shown in a couple of clips, that I actually have a mural of Kim Possible on my wall that my mom did when I was younger. So that just tells you how into Kim Possible I was when I was that age, and even into today, because I believe Disney Channel's making a movie adaptation of the TV show. I could be wrong, but I know there was rumors spreading around about it, so I'm really excited to see if that is actually true. And the final kind of section before I get into my favorite band of all time is the alternative rock section. So the first band I have to talk about is Panic! At the Disco. I own 2 of their albums. I own If You Read Can't Spit Out and Death of the Bachelor. Again, these were both sent to me by my friend Cynthia in swap boxes, so thank you once again to Cynthia for sending me this if you're watching this. And I'm kind of new to Panic! At the Disco. I only recently got into them. I would say I really just got into them last year, but I knew who they were for years and years and years. I did enjoy their music before I officially got into them, so I'm glad to have these couple of albums, and I hope to collect more of the albums as the years go on. And then the final alternative rock band that I have talked about before we get into my favorite band of all time is obviously Fall Out Boy. They're the band I own the most albums by. I own every single one of them. So the first one that I have is Take This to Your Grave, which was their first album. Then I have From Under the Cork Tree, which, there it is. Then we have Infinity on High, Fully Adieu. Then we have their greatest hits album, so they have Believers Never Die, and then they have their Icon album, which is, there it is. And then finally we get into their more recent music, so the next one is Say Rock and Roll, which is my favorite Fall Out Boy album. And then we have American Beauty, American Psycho, and finally with Fall Out Boy they have their most recent release, which was Mania. So that is everything in the Fall Out Boy pile. And now we're going to round off this video by talking about my favorite band of all time. And if you guys saw my most recent reading vlog, which I'll have linked on the screen, you would know I unboxed 2 albums by this band in that reading vlog because I had lost my copies or they had been damaged. So I figured I'll buy new ones for this video, and that band is Big Time Rush. I love Big Time Rush. They're my favorite band of all time, like I said, and I just have so many good memories with them. So with their albums, they have 2 copies of their first album. I have my original copy, and then the new edition that I bought this past weekend and unboxed in that reading vlog. This was their first album, self-titled, BTR. Again, I just love this band so much. Then we have their second album, which is my favorite band, or my favorite CD by them, I should say, and that is Elevate. And finally, with Big Time Rush is 24/7, which was their most recent release. This is the last album they released before they went on hiatus in 2014. And I also have really good memories surrounding this particular album because I actually met the band a month after this was released. I'm going to be doing an entire story time on that later this week, so be on the lookout for that. But I just love Big Time Rush, and if you don't know who they are, maybe you know them from their Nickelodeon TV show, but the band is just as amazing as the TV show was. So that is my entire CD collection, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. Normally, I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but since this week it's Music-a-thon, I will be posting every single day. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what CDs you have in your collection, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links are linked down below for you guys if you guys would like to follow me on any of those. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for Music-a-thon Day 3. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!